Welcome viewers, Dr. Jason W. Morrison, Theologist, New South Wales, Australia. We are doing Watchtower Study Edition, November 2019. It's New Year's Eve. We're up to the heart-to-heart communication. A very strange article this, and I'll show you the reasons why. Paragraph 8. We might find it difficult to open up to others because someone might have hurt us in the past. And that's a very, very good reason not to open up to others. If someone's hurt you in the past, then that's a very, very good reason to be very careful about who you're going to share your important parts of yourself with. You've got to protect your privacy. Now, this is trying to undermine to a certain extent your ability to be very careful about who you speak to. And what this is actually doing is it's provoking backbiting and gossip and all this other stuff, because if people know too much, this is where all the slander and other things come from. Or we may feel that we lack the time and energy to cultivate close relationships. Well, the fact of the matter is that could be the truth. You can't be everything to everyone. However, we should not give up. Give up what? Just have a normal, structured life. If we want our brothers to stand by us when trials come, now this is conditional. This is a conditional statement. If we want our brothers to stand by us when trials come, we must learn to trust them now with our thoughts and feelings. I don't agree with that statement. I'm sorry. No. Trusting people with your thoughts and feelings is a very exclusive privilege for someone to have. You've got to be very careful, as it said here, who you share your thoughts and feelings with, because you'll be betrayed. You'll be undermined. It gives people, as a matter of fact, if you're not careful, it empowers people to undermine you. And that is an important step toward becoming true friends. No, it's not necessarily. If you're on a soccer team with someone, you don't get there spewing out all your thoughts and feelings about everything. The proverb says a couple of times that even a fool's counted wise if he holds his tongue. What's this say? Now, that you have purified yourselves by your obedience to the truth, that's the finished work of the Lord Jesus Christ, knowing that all your issues between yourself and God have been resolved for time and eternity, never to be worried about again, with unhypocritical brotherly affection. You've got to be careful what this sort of affection is suggesting and how it's interpreted. Unhypocritical brotherly respect might be a better word. As a result, love one another intensely from the heart. You've got to get this in its right perspective. There's 4 types of love. There's love toward God. There's your family love. There's friends love. And then there's another love. I forget what it is. Storge, Philios, Agape. And there was another one. I can't think of it offhand, but you've got love for God, love for people, family love, and then I think it's parental love, or one of those. But you've got to keep it in its right perspective. You can't just spew your thoughts and feelings out to everyone, because you're going to exhaust yourself and come undone. Jesus showed that he trusted his friends by communicating openly with them. No, Jesus, remember, he would choose James, Peter, and John to privately come with him at certain instances, didn't he? And might I just say, I no longer call you slaves, Jehovah Witnesses, Jesus said, because the slave does not know what his master does. But I have called you friends. Did you know you're the friend of God through the Lord Jesus Christ? Because I've made known to you all the things that I've heard from my Father who is Jehovah. Did you know you're God's friend? You don't owe him anything. You're his friend. If we can imitate him by sharing our joys, concerns and disappointments with others. Listen carefully as someone talks to you, and you may learn that you have many thoughts, feelings, and goals in common. Consider the example of Cindy, a sister in her 20s. She befriended a pioneer in her 60s named Mary Louise. Cindy and Mary Louise work together in field service every Thursday morning, and they talk freely with each other about a variety of subjects. I'm sure they do, and a lot of it would be whinging and backbiting prettied up. Cindy says, I enjoy having deep conversations with friends because this helps me to know and understand them better, and probably yourself. Friendships thrive in warm atmosphere of open communication. That's true, as long as it's constructive. Like Cindy, if you take the initiative to have warm and open conversations with others, your friendships with them are likely to grow. And Proverbs 27:9 says, oil and incense make the heart rejoice, so does sweet friendship springing from sincere counsel. And notice the sincere counsel. You can't just throw out and spew out your thoughts and feelings to everyone, because you will at some stage get hurt. You will get hurt, as you did in the past. So there's a certain amount of wisdom connected to this. We'll watch some videos now.
Enough. Anywhere in the world, no government cares to even do a poll to find out about the statistics. It's impossible because there's so many people leaving and joining, and how would you even be able to figure that out? Like, was he an ex-Jehovah's Witness, that suicide victim, Was he ever involved with the Jehovah's Witnesses at any point in his life? Like, somebody needs to figure this out because it's a major controversy. It's a major detriment. And people need to know, even if they aren't a current Jehovah's Witness, were they raised a Jehovah's Witness? And to figure this out, because it's just an epidemic. It can't continue. I mean, when I saw that... Boy, he wasn't a boy. He was 39 years old, but I see him as a boy in my head. When I saw that he was dead, I was like, just not one more. Like, please, just not. Like, that was just, I can't take it anymore. And they don't even bury them properly. It's like, well, they died a disgrace. They committed suicide. It's like, well, you made them commit suicide. And then you don't even give them a proper burial. Don't even remember them properly. Every single time. I wonder how many people, how many families, witness families, don't even know their loved ones are dead. They don't even know they're missing. Like, that's even a whole other thing. These people that drop off the face of the earth, like at the Kingdom Hall, and you never see them again. It's like, oh, I guess they stopped going to meetings. I don't know. They fell out of the truth, and nobody looks out for them. Nobody goes and checks it out. Are they alive? No, I guess they just don't want to be a witness anymore. I don't know. Start shunning them. And they could be trapped in a well or something. Like, they could be kidnapped or, something awful, and witnesses just assume right away, well, they haven't made it to the meeting in a couple weeks. I guess they just don't want to come anymore. They were never very spiritually strong anyway. Who knows if they were murdered, kidnapped? I mean, anything. They just don't care. They don't bother. They're just so all into their own selves. It's like, well, I need to attend to my own spiritual health, my own spirituality. I can't be worrying about other people. The elders will handle it. And the elders don't care, Everybody assumes, oh no, the elders are taking care of it. And the elders are like, no, I'm sure somebody knows what's going on. The elders are clueless. Nobody cares. They're all so self-absorbed. And it's pathetic. It really is pathetic, because Jehovah's Witnesses, all they care about is themselves. As long as they make it to the meeting and their family's okay, everybody who's currently a Jehovah's Witness and they're not shunning, that's all that matters. It's like, oh, our daughter, she's disfellowshipped. I don't know. She went and married some worldly guy. I have no idea. We haven't even met her own grandkids. Oh, well, she chose her own life. That's it. If she dies at Armageddon, oh, well, Jehovah will wipe her from our memory and we won't even remember. And if she makes it, Jehovah will make it all better. Because then it'll be paradise and we'll all be happy. So any hurt feelings, you missed all your grandkids and me growing up and everything like that, it'll just all be perfect once it's paradise. Well, I'll just be so happy to be there that you'll forget all the jerky things that I've done to you. Not talking to you and not calling when there's an emergency and, not giving a crap. They just think, Jehovah's going to gloss it all over and it'll be all better in paradise, no matter what. It's like, no, I don't think so. I'm quite spiteful. Like, with my parents, like, if paradise did miraculously happen and we all made it, the first thing I would do is go up to both my parents and punch them out. Like, literally. You shunned us for no reason. Pow, pow. First two people I'd punch out. I have several people on my list I'm going to punch out when I get in paradise, if it ever did happen, no matter what it is. There's a lot of people, they better hope there's not an afterlife, because whatever the afterlife is, they've got a big old fist to the face waiting for them, no matter what it is. I don't care what it is. If it's heaven or paradise or whatever, somewhere in between, they got a bloody lip waiting and big old black eyes, I swear. It's terrible, but it's true. It's like, no, I'm not going to be like, it's okay. Well, at least we're here. It's good to see you again. How you been? What did I miss? No! I'm angry. So you think you're going to get off that easy? I don't think so. And if they're not there and I'm there, I'm going to feel really happy about it. Like, good. I knew they weren't going to make it. And that's the way the Jehovah's Witnesses are too. They're spiteful. They walk around like, I know they're not going to make it into Armageddon. There's no way they're making it into Armageddon. They hardly ever make it to the meetings. No way. They have like death wishes for other people. Like, it's death wishes and these suicidal thoughts and these death wishes for other people too. It's all about death. It's like, brother and sister so-and-so, and that whole family, none of them are making it through Armageddon. You just know it. That's why we don't invite them over or invite them to the congregation picnic. They're so spiritually weak. Where it's like predetermined in their own head. Like they judge everybody. And so that's the kind of situation you're raised in and you're around. Where you have these mean thoughts towards other people and death wishes towards yourself. And it's just this awful thing. I can't wait for Armageddon to get here and see who gets offed. I can't wait for the killing to start. Come on, Jehovah. I can't wait. I want to see who makes it and who doesn't. Because, boy, I got some retribution myself. I mean, I've had that conversation with my Jehovah's Witness mother. She said that with me growing up. She's like, I can't wait for Armageddon to get here. I've been waiting to see this retribution of all these people that deserve to die. I'm like, do you realize what you're saying? You're so hateful. How can you be so hateful as to hope that all these people around you can't wait for them all to die. I can't wait for them to get what's coming to them. Ooh, I can't wait. I mean, that's the situation. And they may not voice it out loud, but that's what they're thinking. When they see those pictures of the fireballs coming from heaven, from Jehovah, it's like, yeah, all those stinking evil people, can't wait for them to be obliterated. Just poof, and their dead bodies all over. And then the birds will peck out their eyes. I literally can't wait. Like, that is what a Jehovah's Witness thinks when they see those pictures of Armageddon. They have death wishes for other people, death wishes for themselves, suicidal tendencies, and cruelty. It's like, oh, you don't want to be a Jehovah's Witness anymore? Well, I'm going to act like you don't exist already. And it's not even Armageddon yet. It's terrible. They're just, because that's my pet peeve. is people saying, well, overall, Jehovah's Witnesses are very nice people. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No, they're not. They may act like they are, like superficially, but in their head and, what they're thinking and how they're groomed to feel. No, they're the most hateful individuals I have ever met in my entire life. I mean, just hateful, because every single one of them feels that same way. And they may act nice to your face, but it's a fake nice. It's like, oh, hi, how you been? I haven't seen you in a really long time. It's that fake voice. You hear it at the Kingdom Hall time and time again. It's that fake niceness. It's not real. They're not really nice. They go home and they gossip about you behind your back. Oh, did you see? They finally made it to the meeting. I haven't seen them in a long time. Huh. They think they can waltz into the congregation and act like nothing's wrong? Huh. They act like they're not even good, don't even need to be in a judicial, and they haven't been to the meeting in several years, and they act like nothing's wrong. I don't know. They gossip behind people's backs, all judgmental, and it's just a mess. I've never met a group of more hateful people in my entire life. And they all pretend to be nice to each other's faces. As soon as everybody turns their backs and goes home, you better watch out what they're going to say about each other. It's like, no, as soon as they get in the car, like if they come and visit you and do a little, it's like, oh, we just came to shepherd you. And as soon as they go into the car, they're gossiping immediately when they get in the car. Did you see? I saw there was Christmas decorations. Did you see? The elders get in the car, and when they're driving all the way home, they're picking apart everything they saw in your house. That's why they come to shepherd you, to check out your surroundings. Did you have Christmas lights? Are there any cards laying around, like birthday cards or Christmas cards or anything like that? How's the kids' behavior? Did you swear? Use any swear words or slang or anything like that? They're scrutinizing everything you do. That's why they come to your house, to check it out. What kind of movies are on your shelves? What kind of books do you have on your shelves? Oh, my dad was presiding overseer. He used to scrutinize everything. I saw some Stephen King novels in their bookshelf. When they used the bathroom, we were looking around, and they had Stephen King novels and this and that. They have no intention to come back to the meetings. No, they're a lost cause. That's what he would say. They're a lost cause. We went and shepherded them, and we saw they had a whole bunch of movies, in their shelves, and they had all kinds of worldly books, and no, they're a lost cause. We even saw some Christmas cards. That's it. Write them off. They're already dead. It's not Armageddon yet, but their little death warrant's already been signed. Like, that was literally what he'd say. That's it. As far as Armageddon goes, they're already dead. That's literally what he would say. And that's my biggest pet peeve, is when some people say they're Jehovah's Witness apologetics, and it's like, oh man, if you had any idea what they really thought about people, like really thought about anyone else who's not in good standing at the Kingdom Hall and doesn't make it to every single meeting and get their 10.5 hours out in field service every month, because they feel jealous about it. That's why they scrutinize other people. It's like, well, if I have to drag myself to the meeting every single week, then you need to too. And if you don't, well, then I'm going to have hard feelings towards you. I'm going to look down at you as not as spiritually strong as I am. Because if I have to suffer, then so do you, buddy. I've heard those words from my own parents, from myself, from other people around me. It's like, well, if we have to make it to every single meeting, then so should everyone else. And if they don't, well, then they don't get invited to the congregation picnic. It's just judgmental people. Oh, every single one. Seriously. I literally can't stand it. But I got kind of off track because I was talking about the suicide rate of Jehovah's Witnesses. But it's like, when you deal with that sort of situation, it can make you so depressed that it's like, these are the people I grew up that I thought were my friends? Yikes. And I realize sometimes about myself, I think that same way. Even though I'm not a Jehovah's Witness anymore, sometimes I still have those same sorts of feelings still. And it's like, geez, I have very negative feelings a lot. Because it's ingrained in me. And it's hard to overcome when that's all you know. So maybe that'll put things kind of in perspective. If anybody thinks Jehovah's Witnesses are like nice people and what's really going on, about why we're so sad and depressed and why there's such a horrible suicide rate and that sort of thing. I think of it as like a time bomb inside of every single one of us. It really is. It's a time bomb, like a kill switch that at any point something could set it off, where it's like, I can't take it anymore, because it's in there from birth. If you're raised a Jehovah's Witness, it's just in there. And sometimes some people, they don't have the strength to realize what's going on and what's going on inside their head. And if they get depressed enough or something goes wrong or, somebody in their family dies, that's like, and you didn't know that they were sick, like with my mom and all that, and then you get a call that they're gone, it can set you off and it can just throw you for a loop. It's devastating. Like, I've had that happen. And it's devastating if you're not prepared for it. So if you are an ex-Jehovah's Witness, you need to be completely aware of that ingrained suicidal thoughts that could still be going on in your head subconsciously you're not aware of. So that when something does happen, because, eventually it will, those parents that shun you could possibly die very unexpectedly and very tragically, and it will be a shock to you, because I've already lived through that twice with my grandma and my mom. And if you're not prepared for it, it can be devastating. So I thought it was important to do a video about this, because you do have to prepare yourself when you're shunned. You don't know what's going on in your Jehovah's Witness family's lives. And they have a death wish, every single one of them. And at any moment, they may be faced with it, whether it be a car accident or some kind of accident where they're not aware and you're not aware, and it just happens instantaneously, and you lose them, because those witnesses do have a death wish. And as soon as they get that ticket to paradise, where they get to die faithful, and they feel like it's a surefire way of making it through Armageddon, where they don't have to suffer the great tribulation in Armageddon, and they're just going to wake up in paradise, they're going to take it. And so when you're dealing with a family member that's got a death wish, like our Jehovah's Witness families do, be prepared. I've gone through it twice already. When they get that ticket, they're going to take it. And you get that phone call in the middle of the night that they're gone, and there's nothing you can do about it. So, and that's a really hard pill to swallow, because then they leave you angry. I'm so angry at my mother. I mean, she's been dead since 2014. I'm still so angry at her, I can't even think. Like, I'm so angry at her. And it'll be 6 years. I'm still so angry at her. When I called her sister, her only sister, my aunt, and I told her that mom was gone, I was like, you're never going to believe it. She's like, I'm so angry at her. I don't even know what to say. She wasn't crying. She was angry. I'm like, I know. So am I. She's a jerk. And she's laying dead in the morgue or in hospice. And I'm like, I know. Me too. And witnesses don't care. It's like, and I know what my mother was thinking. Well, if you want to see me in paradise, then you better start going back to meetings. They want you to get that call in the middle of the night and be devastated. That's how sick they are. That's how sick Jehovah's Witnesses are. I know my Jehovah's Witness mother knew. I want her to get that call in the middle of the night that I died without her. Because that'll force her to come back to the truth. Because if she wants to ever see me again, she's going to have to become a Jehovah's Witness and make it into paradise. It's like, oh, I'll just make it back into paradise so I can punch you in the face. So you'll have to be resurrected yet again. Because I'm going to punch you so hard your head flies off. Like, you know, it's terrible to say. But I've said that to her before. You better not die without me. Because you're going to have to be resurrected twice. Because I'm going to be so angry at you. It's not even going to be funny. And that's true. It's like, no. I'm so angry that I'm deliberately not going to make it into paradise. Because I don't want to see her again. So if that's the only way that I'm going to see her again, well then nope. Like literally. Literally. Just because I'm that angry. And that's sad to leave somebody in that sort of situation. Where you're so angry at somebody that it's like, I hope I get a whole different afterlife than you because I never want to see you again because you're that big of a jerk. That's pathetic. It's just so pathetic. But it's so true. It's just the God's honest truth. So any Jehovah's Witnesses who are listening to this, know that that's how you're leaving your ex-Jehovah's Witness family. It's like, fine, if you want to be that big of a jerk, I hope I do not see you ever again. And so if you want to make sure that they stay ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, then go ahead and continue to shun them. Go ahead and die without saying goodbye. That will ensure that they stay apostates. I'm saying it from experience. That I will never, ever go back because of what my Jehovah's Witness family has done. They made sure and they signed my disassociation letter for me. It's like, oh, you go ahead and do that and shun me for this long and then die? Well, see you later. That just puts more fuel in my apostate fire. And, you know, just like you attract more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. And that what Jehovah's Witnesses, they keep using vinegar. It's like, well, how stupid do you have to be? Don't you realize shunning is not really loving? And you wonder why nobody ever comes back to the meeting. Like, hardly ever. It's like, are you kidding? Obviously, shunning doesn't work. Because if it worked, everyone would be flocking back. And they're not. So maybe you should try something else. You ever thought about that? No. Because you can't make your own decisions. You have to have it dictated to you. And apparently the governing body are too stupid or selfish to realize that shunning doesn't work. Because, you know, if it did work, it would be working, right? And it doesn't. Statistics show that 2/3 of Jehovah's Witness children leave and they never come back, and that's it. And they never speak again. It's like, if you want to be that petty and you want to live up to your stereotypical rude behavior, Jehovah's Witnesses, continue doing it. You're just creating your own terrible reputation. But anyway, that's enough of a rant for me. I'm done. I got it out of my system. I hope I didn't offend too many people. I hope I offended enough Jehovah's Witnesses to knock some sense into them. I really don't care. Like, I really don't care how many Jehovah's Witnesses I offend. I hope I offend them all. I'm to that point where it's like, no, I want to offend every single one. But I hope I turned some lights on for some ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. In case, you're having any suicidal thoughts, don't do it. Those people are not worth it. And, they're just not worth it. Move on. You're better off without them. That's the way I feel. And so anyway, I don't know if that's a pep talk or what. I don't want to depress anybody. I'm trying to be peppy. I'm trying to be encouraging. And just kind of knock some sense into people. And I hope it worked. I don't know if it did. I apologize if it did not. And I'm sorry for triggering anybody as well. But I love you all. And have a happy New Year. New Year's Eve is my birthday. Don't forget about me. Think about me when you're having your parties. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.